All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome y'all back to another episode of the Daily Dollar Show podcast. As always, it's your boy Martin.
And this is Marlon.
And Marlon is a depressed puppy. Why do you ask? Because, like most of you that are listening, we are watching the NFL draft. And we are currently watching round two. When this comes out, round three will just be popping off. So get prepared. You get to hear about his depression and how the Eagles decided it was best to take another quarterback.
Which is I do not understand for the life of me. Like, you have your franchise quarterback, Carson Wentz. You just paid him last year $100 million. Why on God's green earth would you draft a quarterback in the second round? You just don't do that. Like, normally, I'm not, like, for people, like, losing their jobs or me, like, physically want to hurt somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But if I see Howard Roseman in the streets, I'm whooping his ass. He lucky in quarantine right now.
Bro, it ain't that serious. But
Oh no, this is real life. And and BK couldn't be with us today. She needs a break because she's a teacher, and of course, what's going on right now, teachers are going through it. So she had to kind of take her time. So she'll be back with us sooner than later.
absolutely. So shout out to BK. Prayers up to her. We love you. Can't wait to have you back.
Absolutely.
So, with that being said, I think besides going back to the first round, everybody knew Burrow was going number one.
Yeah, he was obviously number one.
Obvious number one. Chase Young was obvious number two.
Yeah.
The first pick that surprised me was Miami going for Tua.
Nah, I said the whole first round that surprised me was the Packers taking or trading up to get your boy Love, the quarterback.
Yeah. Well, that's
Same thing with Wentz. Like, why would you do that?
For me, I was thinking Miami would have, because quarterbacks were so deep. Like, me personally, when I looked at Tua, his injury history concerned me.
Yeah, but I mean
don't get me wrong.
You knew they were going quarterback eventually, though. So, like, them taking Tua wasn't all that shocking, I guess, is my perspective on that.
I didn't think he would have went that high. Like, my thoughts was he was going to go lower, mid-first round, lower in the first round. You could have got a better offensive tackle.
Yeah, that's true, too.
And you could have got a better offensive tackle and still gotten Tua, I think. Or gotten Jordan.
I mean, we don't know how you're falling, though, too. I mean, even though, like, it was injury history per se, somebody will take that risk on him. Like, maybe, like, somebody, who was an injury-prone quarterback right now is still playing, and you develop him afterwards. But, I mean, then that's Miami. They're still developing anyway. So, them taking Tua first round to me wasn't all that of a surprise.
Yeah. I mean, them taking him in the first round wasn't a surprise. To me, when they took him was a surprise.
Yeah, I can see that.
I didn't think he would go. I think it was 5.
It was either 5 or 6. I can't remember, but yeah, it was definitely like a top 10 pick for sure.
Yeah, because you had Joe Burrow, Chase Young, Jeff Okudah, which basically that was kind of consensus top 3.
Yeah, because they replaced Darius Slay. They traded to us, so they had to get a corner, which makes sense.
Right. And then you had the Giants select Andrew Thomas.
Now, I was kind of surprised they didn't go Isaiah Simmons. That boy was like a freak. So I was kind of happy they didn't pick him.
Well, here's the thing. So what was the other offense? So Jedrick, when they picked Andrew Thomas, I saw people discussing like Jedrick Willis from Alabama was who they thought they would have took.
Mm-hmm.
As far as offensive tackles go. But yeah, no, a lot of people I agree, like Isaiah Simmons was another one. But if they're gonna go with what's his name in New York, the quarterback, that's your division.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones, you need a line to protect him. You don't need to get his beat in. So yeah, but then because you look at it, okay, Justin Herbert, do you think the Chargers would have took Tua over Justin Herbert? Because he went right after him.
See, in that case, I would say they probably would have, even though they have Tyrod Taylor. I mean, they can have Tua like ride the bench for the year while Tyrod just starts the year, or maybe if the Chargers aren't having a good as a season, they can probably start in like mid and see how he plays out. But they have a good defense and their offense is legit too. So I mean, I guess taking the risk
Yeah.
sense too.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I agree. But
But a lot of offensive linemen went first round. I was kind of surprised. Like a lot of offensive linemen went. Like a
well,
lot of offensive tackles.
I think a lot of people are looking at you look at Melvin Ingram, Joey Bosa, Cam Jordan, J.J. Watt, Von Miller, Jadeveon Clowney, Calais Campbell, Chandler Jones. When you start listing off the really high caliber pass rushers, people that get to your quarterback, your fingers directly in the screen. When you list off, when you list off these people, it's one of those things where it's like you need offensive line. It's I think it's getting back to your teams realize you got to build from the inside out. And
Yep, in the trenches. Yep.
the Cowboys did it, which is why they looked like they were on an upward trend at one point. The Saints did it. Shout out to my Saints. They took the best interior offensive lineman on the draft.
And for the record, even though I didn't make fun on Facebook about that, it was a good pick. And I was just laughing at the fact that people were just so like
Oh
pissed
yeah,
off about it. Like just the reaction was funny because like you said, for the first round, like you wait like 2.5, 3 hours, and then you see, oh goddamn, that's a lineman. Like that's not sexy, but
right.
it's still a good legit pick.
And here's the thing: the Saints are notorious for making really good day 2 and day 3 picks. You don't your day 1 pick can't be a miss. Your day 1
Right.
can't be Jamarcus Russell. It can't be Blaine Gabbert. It can't be Tim Tebow. Your day 1 pick cannot be those guys. What was it? What was Taylor Lewan and Eric Fisher several years ago? The offensive lineman that got drafted in both. Like you don't even know who I'm talking about.
Well, Fisher, you played for the Chiefs, right?
He was for the Chiefs and Taylor Lewan, I want to say it was the Titans.
Probably. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but that's my point. It's like, Taylor Lewan, like they were thinking like he's gonna be like a Walter Jones, a Ron Armstead, one
Yeah.
of the bookend left tackle, right tackle, and those guys aren't. They're obscure. They're lower end players. They're backups in other places, or they're starters, but they're not top first round player.
And as the draft was progressing yesterday, well, these for the first round, I was just hoping to God that the Cowboys would pick an offensive lineman or like a D lineman or somebody like that.
Yeah, but they didn't.
Them motherfuckers took Lamb. I was like, oh
They
my
took they took
God.
very good, very good receiver.
And then what pisses me off is like they did that out of spite, which I can understand because 2 years ago we traded up before them to pick Dallas Goedert, and they needed a tight end that year.
Ah,
And they knew we needed a wide receiver this year, so they took CD Lamb.
I mean,
So like,
the Titans they all had other receivers available.
huh?
They were up. Here's the thing. So as far as receivers, you didn't have a receiver come off the board until 12 with Henry Ruggs to Vegas to the Raiders.
But you gotta realize too that pretty much everyone was pretty much saying that CD Lamb was the best wide receiver in the draft. Like it was him, then it was Jerry Judy, then they were saying Ruggs. So people were kind of surprised that Ruggs was the first one taken.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
so do you like Jalen Rager over Justin Jefferson?
and this thing I've been debating about this the past like day. I feel like Rager is more of a fit because we needed a speed wide receiver. Because Deshaun Jackson got hurt last year. Like, he's pretty much missed the whole entire year.
Right.
The first game we had him, he was very dynamic. Once he was out rest of the year, we missed that speed threat, that deep threat. Like,
What about
we played, huh?
Brandon Ayuk?
He's all right, but Rager is really like he's a real like legit like deep threat. Like if he's runs like a 4.3, like 40. Like he's really like he's like Brandon Cooks 2.0 pretty much. Like he's fast and he's built. Like he's really like 205.
Yeah.
So I mean I didn't mind Justin Jefferson, but I understand the pick with Rager.
You felt Rager was a better fit.
Yeah.
I understand that completely. So, all right. Well, so you liked your pick. I like the Saints pick.
But
We both agree.
second round pick, not so much. Like I literally want to like burn all my eagle pillows, like just burn it because I'm just so frustrated. Like, bro, you have all these skill players available. You take a backup quarterback in the second round. Like, you just don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Like, I just want to just cry. I don't want football to happen this year. Like, I'm just literally like, I'm at a loss for words. I really am.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So the Dolphins they just picked. I mean, and the Dolphins are really doing a thing right now. Like I'll say this. If you were gonna be a team to be as bad off as they were and to make the picks that they're making, I'm not mad at it.
They had like 14 draft picks going to the draft,
Right.
and like I want to say 3 first round
They had
picks.
3 first round picks.
Like, and from my understanding, like this draft class as a whole is deep everywhere. So
Honestly, it's like there's enough players at each position to where like you really have to try to miss it.
and what's good in their case too is with Tom Brady going to Tampa, that division is wide open.
Because the Jets ain't gonna be great.
Nah, Jets gonna be the Jets. The Bills have probably the best shot at winning that division.
Oh yeah.
The Patriots gonna yeah, everybody old and they ain't gonna do nothing this year. So
Because I mean, Miami has drafted quarterback, 2 offensive. Well, I just saw their.
to draft it's the offensive lineman.
They drafted the offensive tackle. Hold on, I got it right here.
Oh wow! It just showed a clip of Jalen Hurts throwing an interception.
Yeah,
Lovely. Lovely.
y'all. It
There
sounds
we go. They got a tackle, a corner, a guard, a defensive tackle, and a safety.
who Miami?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Miami. Tua,
They could have got a wide receiver, I thought too.
Austin
But
Jackson, the offensive tackle, all line from USC.
oh shit.
Cornerback Noah.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, Jesus be offense.
I
Jesus be offense.
I get it. It's one of those situations where you're not really feeling it.
Oh, I'm past not feeling it. Like I just want to just jump off a bridge.
Chicago drafted a tight end. Makes sense.
I did see that, which was so random.
Tampa Bay drafted a safety in the second round.
And I know the Ravens, they drafted Patrick Queen. Bro, the Ravens gonna be nice this year.
The Ravens,
Like the offense was almost said probably draft a wide receiver, but their defense is wow.
because Baltimore drafted a running back. Yeah, as well. They drafted J.K. Dobbins out of
I
Ohio.
want they got what they trade for Marcus Peters, I think, and they signed somebody else. I can't remember exactly who, but their defense is stacked.
Oh, I'm
So
stacked on both sides of the ball. Like one receiver.
they need a receiver, which I'm surprised they haven't gotten yet. But
Yeah,
this actually class is deep though. So here you go. So you got a linebacker, running back, and a tackle.
yeah,
This needs to get a wide receiver. They straight.
yeah. I mean, I'll say this. Boy, doesn't Green Bay have Aaron Jones at running back?
Yep. They drafted another running back.
I'm like, what's going on?
Well, Aaron Jones has always been like fully healthy, so I kind of see it in a way, but
Like,
it's
who?
still fucked up.
Yeah, what? Devontae Adams at receiver, right?
Yep.
And that's like the only receiver they have.
See, now I thought they would have went like Denzel Mims their first round pick, some receiver, yeah, but
Yeah,
they didn't.
I
They
thought,
got they did the same thing we did. They drafted fucking quarterbacks over a wide receiver.
like I thought they would have went wide receiver, tight end, O line. Like, and honestly, tight end would be a second or third round pick anyway. So I'm thinking like O line or wide receiver. That was my honest thoughts for Green. When I saw Green, I was just like, wow. Like,
So I was watching I think it was First Take this morning, or was it Undisputed? They were saying so the Packers have not drafted like a skill position player on offense since Aaron Rodgers, which was '05.
wow.
So in '06, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever, they have not drafted a offensive player in the first round. You know how bad that is for Aaron Rodgers.
Oh,
Like that just sucks.
that's genuinely terrible.
Like you would figure that they will go like maybe like a running back a year or wide receiver, offensive lineman. Nope. All their first round picks have been on defense.
I mean, and here's the thing: it's not like they winning rings out here, so they need to do something different.
Ooh, watch out for Arizona, boy.
Bro, Arizona ain't no joke.
So they got who's that first pick? They got Isaiah Simmons, a freak on defense, and they just drafted a tackle for the tackle to protect. Did they put a tackle offensive tackle? Offensive tackle, yeah. So to protect Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, watch out for Arizona this year.
Huh?
So watch out for Arizona this year.
Oh yeah, dude, they're gonna be serious. I mean, they Cliff isn't Cliff Kingsbury the coach, right?
Yep.
Bro, that team is serious.
Yeah, I give another year or two before they
Oh yeah,
become a legit threat.
yeah, absolutely.
So I was in another agreement this morning. We're talking about who has a good chance of making it to the Super Bowl this year. And I was like, well, in the AFC side, I don't see anybody beating the Chiefs. I just don't see it.
I mean, it's the
And
for the Ravens. Like that's your option.
well, yeah, Ravens true, but my homeboy he on another level. Like he's something serious. And as far as the NFC side, ain't gonna lie, I'm going with the Saints. It pains me to say it too, but there's like nobody I can see right now that's a legit threat. I mean, well, Tampa Bay, but I don't think they're there just yet. Like it's close, but they have no chemistry yet. Like Tom Brady's coming in, you know, offseason like talking about it. There's like to get chemistry with Mike Evans and Godwin, and just
Mhm.
it's a lot of turnover in 1 year. It's a lot. So
I'll say this: Tom Brady, I think, is one of those few players that it kind of doesn't matter where you play because of what he does, how he prepares, and how he plays. Like, I really don't. I think he gets. It's not going to be as hard a transition as it would be for some other quarterbacks. Is what I'm saying.
yeah, I get that, but I just think that even though because you're going to a new team, new system, with potentially like no like regular scheduled off season. Like everything is kind of we don't even know what's going to happen as far as even having an NFL season. So, but yeah, if anybody who can kind of figure it out like faster than somebody else would be Tom Brady.
Right.
Um, but yeah, as of right now, I'm just completely over this draft. I am sick to my stomach. I am appalled. I am crushed. I want to just drink myself to sleep because I'm very upset of what the Eagles have done. Like, I was feeling good going into this draft, and now I feel like shit. So, therefore, I'm done.
I mean, but y'all got a quarterback of the future.
I'm done. I don't talk about no more.
All right,
I'm over it.
fine. We won't dredge up this topic. So,
Thank you.
moving on. A lot of cities are opening back up, getting ready to open back up, going through the process, going through the steps. I personally think it's way too soon.
Yeah, I mean, you got Georgia open things up. Like, I think it was today, as a matter of fact, on a Friday, which is mind blowing. Like they open your barbershops. I think a mall was opened. Just basically just some I don't know. I don't understand why people like so pushing the fact of opening. Like, I remember the whole protest they had was in Michigan they had recently
Yes,
about ending this whole.
they were
I
they
mean,
were protesting the governor, who, one, she's black, two, she's a Democrat, three, she was planning on, well, from my understanding, they were protesting her because she didn't want to open the city and the state back up.
and you see, at first I thought that was so dumb, but then I kind of sat back and thought about it. Like those people who are out of work right now, like they're pushing the city open so they can work to provide for their families. Now, this whole unemployment thing, I mean, some people are getting it like sooner than later, while some people are just not getting their money right now. So it's like if we push to have the city open back up, I can get back to work faster. I can pay some of these bills.
But here's the thing, like, you can't pay bills if you're dead. You can't take care of your family if you're dead.
I ain't think about that. Think about like, hey, I got to feed my family. I got to provide. I mean, as a man, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I probably, I don't know about protest, but I wouldn't mind pushing the issue. Like, look, I know like safety is important, but at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
I can't provide and we just sitting home and I'm not getting paid unemployment.
All right.
You know,
Well, no, here's the thing. You, it's a tough situation, but
it's tough. Yeah, both ways. It's definitely tough.
I'll say this: other countries. So I spoke to a guy in Ireland, right?
Ireland.
I'm in a Facebook group, a group chat with some guys from a Madden franchise, and there's a guy in the league from Ireland, and we were discussing, how things are. He's out of work, been out of work for over a month, just like a lot of people, right?
Right.
Their government is paying all the citizens, everybody gets 80% of their salary. They don't have to go to work, and everybody has health care already. The way it's set up over there, like, they have universal health care for everyone.
And you see, if we had that here, it wouldn't be an issue. There'd be no protest because if you're getting paid to be home, that's all fine and dandy. But think about it, like some people work at, your typical like the mall, the hotels, like places that have closed down. It's like you're not guaranteed that.
They would get 80%, and that's the thing. Like, you would get 80% of what you earn.
Not here.
But see, that's what, like, you want to go back to work. We shouldn't go back to work yet. Like, I want to go back to work, but it's not safe. It's not safe.
I mean, yeah, I get it. Like I said, I think safety is definitely important. I'm just playing devil's advocate, just saying the fact that these people here who are not fortunate enough to get paid to be at home.
Yeah,
But
it's a crazy situation. But I know, other countries have it figured out. And for some reason, we're supposed to be the greatest country in the world, and we can't figure this shit out.
No, we can't. And I don't know. You would think that. Oh wow, the Cleveland Browns have traded their pick to the Saints. Oh, y'all about to pick right now, 74, third round.
I love it. I knew we were going to trade up.
Lucky Sons. Oh my God, I hate it here again. See, I'm getting my feelings again. I don't want to do this.
Pick Grant Delpit? Okay.
Yeah, I'm about to get okay, but I would say this that I just feel bad for everybody who's not working right now, not getting paid and not getting unemployment. Like, I genuinely feel bad for these people.
Well, yeah. I mean, it is tough. It just honestly, it takes me back to like, how can other countries figure it out, but we can't figure it out? If our economy is so great, how can we not figure this out? If our system
Yep,
is so great, how can we
yep,
figure this out?
yep. Pickers and y'all about to pick. Wait for it, a
Linebacker,
linebacker.
Zach Baum.
Boom.
There you go.
There you go, y'all. I'm over it, Steve.
He had 12 and a half sacks last season. Second in the Big Ten.
He played quarterback in high school.
That boy athlete.
See, I show on clips of him playing. Why would you show clips of him as a quarterback right now? He's a linebacker. That makes zero sense.
From Brown Deer, Wisconsin.
Okay. Well, I guess back on track. So you have Georgia opening up. You got Vegas potentially opening up soon.
Well, let's not even talk about Vegas yet. We're going to get to Vegas. So I'll say this. So Georgia, it started opening up today, right?
Yeah.
You have barbershops, gyms, salons, and massage therapists, massage parlors could open back up. So you can go get your hair cut and a happy ending. On Monday, restaurants and movie theaters can open.
So I'm wondering with these movie theaters, are they gonna like position like certain spots? Like maybe they sell like certain like seats to kind of maintain a sort of distancing, or they're probably like saying F it, we want to open everything back up.
I mean, I'll say this. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't you're not gonna sell out movies. That's the whole thing about movie theaters. Cram as many people as you can in front of a screen. So you're gonna have, let's say you're gonna have 3 seats of space between every person. 2 seats of space between every person. Minimum 6 feet difference. 2 seats.
And you see, oh, my thought process with that, even though as crazy as it may seem, some people are not working. They are like at home and they want to get out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe going to movies is not a bad idea. So,
Yeah, no.
I mean,
No.
yeah, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I can see, but no, if I'm in Georgia, I'm staying my ass at home. I ain't going nowhere. I'm maintaining like this stay home order. I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, no, like you don't take a chance. I mean, here's the thing. Like I get it. I get it. As someone who, and I'm not the most social person. Like I'm not the one who wants to go out all the time and do this and do that. I do occasionally. I like going out. I like enjoying things. But like you have to prioritize your life over like once. Like what's important? You going out, because here's the scenario, right? You go to the movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
The virus can live up to 3 days on certain things. It can last anywhere from hours to days, depending on whatever it is. You go in, you go get your popcorn, or you go get your, you get your drink, you get your snacks, you get whatever, right? Because the movie theater is not going to let you bring it in.
Oh yeah, of course.
You gonna pay,
That's
pay
true.
$87 for that tub of popcorn and that drink. So you you go in there, you sit down and you watch a movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
You leave, you go home, right?
Uh-huh.
So then you find out 2 weeks later that your wife has the coronavirus, is in the hospital now. You didn't get it. Or you got it, but you didn't show symptoms, or they were mild, so you just didn't really pay attention to it. But you
Mm-hmm.
passed it along to her.
Sheesh.
And she's on a respirator. She can't breathe on her own. The kids have it. They say
Oh,
they say it can cause seizures in people. So all of a sudden, your kid just starts seizing out. Test positive for coronavirus, COVID-19.
so do you at that point do you fault the parents in that situation?
I fault so one, yes. I fault the parents because you have to make responsible decisions. More than that, I fault the government and I fault politicians who are prioritizing dollars over lives. Because here's the thing, if we have the greatest economy in the world, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to rebound from this. If we have the greatest economy in the world, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to take care of our American people. We have the greatest economy in the world. There's no reason why we should not be able to be shut down, protect people's lives until we can get through this, and then come back in at full swing. If we are the greatest country in the world, why is our response lacking? Why is our testing lacking? Why is our levels of PPE for first responders lacking? Why are people still dying from this? Why did testing take so long to happen? Like these are all the questions. Like at the end of the day, don't get me wrong. Like you have a personal responsibility to make good decisions. I would love to go out. I would love to go to the movies. I would love to sit and watch a movie and eat some popcorn with some fresh hot butter and some M&Ms and drink a Coke and relax. I wanted to go see Black Widow. I wanted to go see like a number of different movies that are coming out. And like you can't, obviously, but you have to do things responsibly. Like you have to be responsible. Cause
And,
and
and take care of yourself.
it's not being fiscally responsible. It's not being it's being responsible about not just your life but the life of others.
Yeah.
Like you're not just responsible for you, you're responsible for you and everybody around you. Like
Yep.
I don't get a chance to see my kids may not be coming down to visit for the summer. I haven't seen my kids since February.
That's tough.
And it's like I love my sons more than anything in this world. I want to see them more than anything in this world. And
You can't.
I'm probably not going to see them until November, like in person. Like I won't be able to hold them, give them a hug, kiss them, tell them I love them in person. Possibly till Thanksgiving, maybe longer, depending on how this goes.
And as somebody who just has son, I can truly feel like I can feel how bad that is, like how that just sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Like in fact, you have two of them,
Yeah,
like just
and it's
that is genuinely like heartbreaking. I can't imagine like being away from my son for more than a day, a month. You talking about in your case, multiple
every
months.
month, almost a
Like
year.
that.
I haven't seen him since February. I may not have seen him again until the end of November. That's 9 months.
I ain't gonna lie. If I was you, I'll even though this whole stay home shit, I'll try to make a way. I'll go see him sometime this summer. Like I couldn't do it. Not that long. I'm sorry. There
No,
ain't no
I
way.
know. Like I want, but here's the thing. So you say that, and I think about it. But what happens if I pick up the virus somewhere?
I mean, so
What happens if I give it to him?
okay, so I'm just trying to think. If you
Like,
go up there, you drive up there. Would you
what are we
get
gonna
a
do?
hotel room and just stay? Like I won't go more than one place. Like just I go to the hotel and go see the kids and go back and forth. Like keep it simple. I don't know.
But I mean,
I
you
get you,
get it.
man.
We gotta get food, right? We gotta eat.
True. No, wear gloves. Wear a mask.
Here's the thing, and this is what I say. And this is as someone who's not been at work for a month, as someone who has not seen his kids for 2 months, over 2 months at this point. You know, it's a situation of my kid's life and my kid's health is a bigger priority than me necessarily being there. I want to be there. I want to be with them. I would love for them to come down for the summer like they normally do and spend the summer with me. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to put their lives in jeopardy because I'm selfish.
No, I get it. I get it 100%. I mean, I don't know. I just do think that they shouldn't rush this whole situation, like rush people to open things back up. Even though I said earlier, I understand it, but at the same time, I think people need to take this very seriously and the health very, very seriously. And I don't know, so all these people like missing out on money. Just hope to God that their employment comes through. They can
But
provide for their families. Get this whole like stimulus check and shit. It works out for them.
here's the thing: miss out on the money because you can't get your life back. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Miss out on the money because you can't get your life back. You
Or just hope to God that I know they have some things in place where they're not going to kick people out, or they're gonna relinquish some of their balance, like their mortgage,
Yeah,
which kind of sucks. But at the same time, I mean, you can't pay, you can't pay. Like, what am I gonna do? So
exactly. Here's the thing: it is what it is. You could get another house. You could get another car. You get another job. You can buy more clothes. You can buy more food. You can get cable. You can get lights. All those things are commodities.
true.
They
You
they
can't put you
they.
can't put a price in your life though.
You
Yeah, I get it.
you don't get another life. You don't get to continue. You can't put a quarter in the machine and go bloop, 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 and you back. It don't work that way.
I got you.
You dead. That's your ass. You dead.
That's your ass, Mr. Postman.
So I get it. Like, believe me, but at what point is money really more important than lives?
Yeah.
Like, a a, a very good friend and coworker of my mother's just passed.
Damn.
I spent a night in a COVID ward myself,
Yeah.
hooked up to oxygen, struggling to breathe, trying to make it. It's a situation of Like I saw the people coming in and out. Like I witnessed personally how staggering this is. And honestly, like it's a situation of really prioritizing what's important.
Yeah.
And you know, going to the movie theater ain't important. Going to the park ain't important. You want to work out at home. Do some yoga, do some plyometrics,
Yep.
do some jumping jacks, and go take a shower, sit your ass down.
Yeah. I got you.
I mean, yeah, and that's just my opinion as someone who's gone through it.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So
There you have it. Say yes at home.
that's it.
Don't
It,
go nowhere.
it ain't worth it. Like death is not worth, going to a movie.
You right. It ain't. Right there with you.
So speaking of, and you mentioned Vegas earlier, two things happened recently that just tripped me out. First, the mayor of Las Vegas. Now, we know that Las Vegas is a party city, it's Sin City. It's one of those things where it's one of those places where you go to have a good time. Hence, we say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So, Carolyn Goodman is the current mayor of Las Vegas.
Well, dummy.
And she did an interview with Anderson Cooper. And she told Anderson Cooper she wants to open the city's casinos, restaurants, and entertainment venues. She wants to reopen them for business so people can back to work. I
That is,
I want people to be back at work as much as the next guy. She completely dismissed all good logic. Like not even like politically, not even like socially, like pure like common sense. Casinos are places where people sit less than a foot apart and pull on a slot machine. They drink and they smoke and they do all this. This is a respiratory illness. Shows when you have hundreds upon hundreds of people sitting in the venue to watch somebody perform. Who the fuck is gonna perform? Because the rich people not putting their lives on the line.
nope.
Britney Spears ain't gonna go perform for a crowd of 1,000 people.
It ain't worth it, bro.
Pussycat dolls, whatever, whatever. So they're they're not they're not gonna be out there to perform. So like why even go there? Why even do it? Why put your people at risk? I mean, she said Anderson Cooper was an alarmist, which I thought was funny.
He laughed at that.
Bruh, like it's dumbfounding the willful ignorance. Like
It just
it's like being willfully ignorant.
and then he asked like how are they gonna enforce like social distancing. She was like, I don't know, it's not my job.
It's not my job.
I'm like, but that's your decision to open things up. So it does affect you in some way. It is your job. So
Like
yeah,
how
I was
social
just ignorant. That
like
was
like it continues to trip me out. and make me think and wonder, like, how is this working? Like, why? Like, one, how did she even become like the mayor? Like, was like you just wonder these things. Like, how do we let people like that
You
in?
see, I mean, even with that being said, it's like you don't know. Even coming before, even during election, when they said, "Oh, how would you handle this situation?" I'm like, you just don't know. This is something that nobody knows exactly how to handle.
Mhm.
While I don't agree with
You
that,
don't,
it's
you
like
don't,
you don't know like
you don't have
somebody's like mindset of how they're gonna handle this like in the future. You have no idea. Like
look.
people would vote for Mayor Cantrell. Nobody knew that how she would handle the situation. Nobody knew.
I'll say
So,
this. I'll say this. You don't have to know how you would handle a situation to know how you would handle a situation. And what I mean by that is, if all right, so example, there you are inside your house, right?
mm-hmm.
You are safe inside your house.
Yes.
Outside, people are shooting. There's 24 people outside that are shooting for guns. Everybody got machine guns. It's a war. Everybody's shooting. As long as you stay inside your house, you're safe.
Okay.
But you got to go to work. What you about to do?
I'll probably go ahead and call my boss. Like, look, bruh.
Not gonna come in today. They shoot.
Or I might just go to the backyard, hop the fence,
No, no.
and like I go to the back where it gets smoke. I don't know, but yeah, I see your point. Cause like, yeah. So exactly where they're shooting it, like down the street
Everywhere.
or literally
Everywhere.
living from.
Everywhere. Behind your house, the sides of your house, the front of your house, wherever you
Well, I
if
probably
it-
just like
wherever
I
you
could
go
probably like just get on
outside.
the ground and like kind of like bear crawl to my car, hop in, and
No,
then
no,
turn it on, and then I can just kind of duck while I'm driving.
no, yeah,
You know,
because you're shooting your car. Engine explodes, you're dead.
oh, well, then. Guess I made it work then. I'm going to work on time.
Yeah. So yeah, no. Uh it doesn't work that way. Everywhere and anywhere you go outside, they're shooting.
Well,
And then if you walk outside, they're shooting at you.
and me, but I didn't do anything. Though. I just walked outside my house.
Here's what you got to understand. A virus inherently seeks to replicate itself. That's what viruses do. They spread. So a virus it infects healthy cells and then spreads to other healthy cells. That's how viruses work.
Mm.
So they seek out healthy cells. So if you go to work and you touch a counter that somebody carrying the virus touched, you can get the virus. It invades you. It's always on the hunt. It's always looking for you. You are a target as long as you are an exposed, living and breathing human being. But not only to say that, to say we want to open casinos and pack them with people who are smoking and drinking and pulling on slot machines and breathing recirculated air with each other. So if one person coughs, everybody getting it. One person sneezes, everybody getting it.
Mm. Well,
The person that pulled the lever before you did, they just gave it to you.
yeah, okay, I'm sending my ass home then.
That's it. That's it. I had somebody ask me, I got a friend on Facebook. I know him from a business group. And I don't know him personally, but he posed the question, what do you think about the virus? So a lot of people don't believe it's real. They don't believe in it. They don't want to believe that something this drastic can happen because it is dumbfounding. It's like this is really happening. So with that, he asked if anybody had any experiences with it. And I told him the truth. I told him my experience. I said it's absolutely real. It is terrifying. Doctors are getting sick and dying. Nurses are getting sick and dying. They don't have the supplies they need to test people properly. They don't have the supplies they need to protect themselves.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, now's not the time for misbelief or contrary thinking. Like, now's not the time to be contrarian. Now's not the time to be against things. Now is the time to understand that you got to do what you got to do for the betterment of everybody.
Yeah.
Because if everybody's good, ain't nobody coming into your restaurant or your business. So it's one of those things.
Yeah. So again, stay inside.
Right. But
Ain't worth it.
as far as things go that don't make no damn sense, so recently the president touting his large medical background and history, he suggested that he was being interviewed, and it was a White House press conference, and he made this comment that disinfectants and ultraviolet light work so well for treating the virus that maybe we should inject people with disinfectants. Maybe we like that. That was the statement that was made. Like that was the statement that was made.
I'm just curious to know is how can these Trump supporters defend that comment? Like, oh, you just joking, bitch. At a time like this, there ain't no joking, bitch. There ain't no joking around. People are losing their lives. They've lost their jobs. Like, this is no time to be joking. You gonna make some ignorant comment like that? Like, bruh, like, what it. And the crazy part is, too, somehow, some way, I can still see this guy winning the election again for a second term because people are idiots. And like, oh, he gave us, our money, he got us through this pandemic. I can just see it. Like, we got to do this in the 4 years. I don't want to, but it wouldn't shock me if that's what happens again. You're right with square one.
I'm looking for the comment, but it's one of those. I mean, like you genuinely have to wonder, like, why? Like, here's the thing: if you've ever been over anything, like over it, you understand that there's a certain level of responsibility that comes with being in charge, right? Like, inherently, you are responsible when you are the president of something. You, at the end of the day, are responsible for the direction and the direction of where things go with whatever that organization is. That's it. You are who the responsibility falls on at the end of the day. You could say, oh, this, oh, that, oh, this, oh, that. it was that one, it was this one, it was that one, it was this one. But ultimately, you are solely responsible because everything stops with you. And at any point in time, like when the president made the statement about hydroxychloroquine, I believe it's called, uh, which is the malaria drug that they use. And he said, "Oh, this can work hydroxychloroquine. It's an immunosuppressive drug and antiparasitic. It can treat and prevent malaria. It also is used to treat lupus and arthritis." So here's the issue though. They sell a version of this for fish tanks to be used to kill bacteria and things like that. You cannot take this. He suggested the drug can be used to kill the coronavirus. So an older white couple, went out and purchased these tablets and took them. One died, the other was hospitalized.
I'll be damned.
When you're the president of the United States. That's what happens when you're president of the United States. People take your word. You are entirely and solely responsible for what happens. You are entirely and solely responsible for the direction of our country because the president sets the tone for all of those things. No one else.
I just don't understand. Like, that just is ignorant. Like, the stupidity. Like
And somebody.
He really has been the dumbest president we've ever had.
Oh, absolutely. Like, you clearly know his education was purchased. Like, he didn't earn it the old-fashioned way.
His purchase.
So, when he made this statement, I started out with a small loan from my father. I was like $100 million. That ain't no small loan. Like, bro, come on. Like, no, that's like, it's one of those situations where when you're in that position, you have to take responsibility for what happens. When your statement, people watch White House addresses for information because that information, people believe that is coming from the smartest people in the room. Unfortunately, the person at the head of all this is not the smartest person in the room.
And he thinks he is.
And that's the other issue. He thinks he's the smartest person in the room. And he thinks he's more intelligent than those who are tried and true and, who have background and education and, degrees and, have put in the time and the work and the research to figure this out. He thinks he's more intelligent than them.
Interesting.
It just bro.
My thing is, at this point, just throw 2020 away. Just throw it away.
For the whole add to the game. It's not worth. Like, it's crazy. It is what it is.
Yeah. Ridiculous, but the world we live in, brother.
Yeah. But it's so.
What?
Zach Bound is an A+ rated player. That draft pick got an A+ rated pick. I
I
like
hate it.
who dat? Who dat?
Uh,
All right. So speaking of football again, getting back to more positive topics, as young men who have worked their entire life to get to the NFL are being drafted. What do you think is going to happen with the season?
as far as if we're gonna have it or not.
Yeah.
So I was kind of debating this with my coworkers. Like some are saying that it won't happen at all. My thing is, I feel like it has to happen because it's just too much money. Like they're missing out on like these owners, the players. It's too much money. Like I mean, it may get bad to a point where they play these games with no fans, which is gonna suck. I understand that. But at the same time, like they'll still get their money regardless because of TV views.
Yeah.
So they'll be okay in that aspect. So I mean, it definitely affects the people who work at these arenas. You know, dealing with you know the security people, the ushers, the
Hmm.
people who sell the food. Like they're out of work, but at the same time, it's gonna happen. Like I'm thinking maybe like September, October, like around there, it should kick off.
I don't see it. I don't see it really kicking off like that. Like I honestly, I'll be surprised if we have an NFL season this year.
Do you see it being canceled altogether?
Yeah, I think you have to. I think you have to. I think the Rams are drafting a quarterback too.
Are they? They are done up linebacker.
Oh, linebacker. Okay, I'm about to say because they were showing. Yeah, Terrell Lewis. I'm about to say because they were showing Washington's quarterback. I was like, man,
Join the fray. Draft quarterback second round, third round, baby. That's what we do around here.
I should draft quarterbacks early, not late.
Yeah.
But honestly,
But
I think they end up canceling the season. I think in good conscience you have to. I think you have to, because like for instance, the NBA they stopped the season. Uh,
they're kind of working on a plan where they can play out the season but with no fans. Suppose like they have like a 30-day like plan or something like that. They're still working on the kinks out. So but yeah, I mean, I understand. Like, it's the right thing to do. It just sucks from us as a point of view that we ain't doing nothing, and the fact that football is like it brings us sort of like normalcy. Like, it kind of gives us like a break from everyday life,
right.
and for us to miss out on that, it sucks. But I want it to come out. I want this to happen, but if it doesn't happen, I can't get upset because I mean, this is a nationwide, worldwide pandemic we're going through. So
And it's one of those things where you think about you're playing this game, right? So all of these people who make hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions and billions of dollars a year can play, can earn money, but you're putting at risk stadium workers and these people and that people. And of course, it's not going to be the same type of stadium crew or the same amount of stadium crew, but you're putting people at risk by having these games go because your equipment people don't make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Your cleaning crews don't make that kind of money. Your maintenance people that work on the field, they're not making that money. So you're asking them to put themselves at risk,
yeah,
and it's not fair.
no, I agree. It's not. It really isn't fair at all. It's not.
So,
Just I don't know, man. Just missing out on sports just sucks right now. You know,
well, just look at it like this: you won't have to see Jalen Hurts.
I'm just why. And then I was reading a transcript of the press conference they just had a few minutes ago,
Mm-hmm.
and they said basically we are in the development part of developing quarterbacks. We're in the business of developing quarterbacks. So you mean to tell me in the second round, with all these good ass players, you pick a quarterback who may not even start for you day one.
Right.
So basically, you kind of hope that Carson Wentz does get hurt to justify your selection of picking Jalen Hurts.
Well, I think they want. I think I'll say this, and just looking at it from a competition point of view, Carson Wentz needs to step up. Carson Wentz,
Yeah.
paid Carson Wentz $100 million. They didn't pay him $100 million to be a backup. They didn't pay him $100 million to be a mediocre quarterback. Philly won a Super Bowl on the back of Nick Foles. That $100
I
million
mean,
quarterback.
Carson Wentz played a pivotal role in that season to be able to put us in a position where Nick Foles
Yeah,
almost kind of just put
but
a couple games guaranteed
he
the
got
first
hurt.
number one seed. But at the same time, it's like if you have your reservations about Carson Wentz, why in the hell you pay him that money? You
Because
really could have waited.
because you're,
You really
you're
could have waited.
you're hedging your bet. Here's the thing. Let me ask you this: they drafted Jalen Hurts, right? Clearly, just from a coaching management point of view, you got to push the guy you paid $100 million to. They need Carson to get a fire under his ass so that he can be the all pro caliber MVP caliber quarterback they believe he can be. In Carson,
So my counter to that is if that's the case, you do your job, you do your best effort to surround him with the most talent you can. If that's the case, you draft like wide receiver, running back, offensive lineman. Just you
oh,
build all these players around them. That way, is no excuse for you not to succeed. You had all these legitimate like wide receivers available for you to pick. Like, why will you not support him in that aspect? Because the whole entire offseason, they've addressed the defensive side of the ball. They have not signed anybody on offense. The only way they signed on offense was a backup quarterback, Nate Sudfeld. That's all they did. Them them drafting Rager was their first signing of offensive player. So, like, you basically setting up Carson Wentz to fail. Like, why? Like, you just pay
I
this
mean,
man
no.
$1 million. Like,
All right, Philly's your team. Who do y'all have at wide receiver right now?
Deshaun Jackson, who's 34 years old,
Okay.
who basically is not – he's injury prone. I give him that. Alshon Jeffrey's beat up, who's over 30, who's never put a full season.
No.
You have Greg Ward, who was a practice squad player who came on late. We lost Nelson Aguilar to free agency, who sucked as well last year. And we have J.J. Arcega-Whiteside from last year, second-round pick. We didn't do shit. That's what we have right now.
And then you
So,
have Zach Ertz at tight end.
yes, and you have Dallas Goedert.
So you have a bunch of weapons who haven't been healthy and haven't played up to their potential.
You got to realize that last year down the stretch, we lost all three of our top wide receivers going to the
No, no, no.
our top receivers from the year going to the year. We lost down the stretch down the rest of the season.
No, I'm with it. Like I'm 100% with it. Like I remember, like y'all didn't have nobody. Like y'all were pulling people off the fucking street to suit up. So I get it. I'm gonna say this though. Carson Wentz is the quarterback of that team. Like,
Them drafting Hurts tells me otherwise that they don't believe in him.
no, they do believe them drafting Hurts tells me they do believe that. Reason why I say that, they believe they wouldn't have paid him $100 million if they didn't believe it. But they also believe that he needs to be pushed. He needs to be pushed to reach a next level. So they draft somebody who they can hold on to for 4 years, not have to commit a lot of money to, who can push Carson Wentz. And guess what? If he doesn't work out, if Wentz isn't the guy, You got 4 years to look at one of the top quarterback prospects in the draft. A guy who did really well in college. So I'm gonna say this. You may not like the pick, but I understand the logic behind it. Because here's the thing, you paid this guy $100 million. You're on the hook for $100 million. Guess what? He needs to perform like he's worth $100 million fucking dollars.
So let's just say, for example, Deshaun Jackson and Rager get hurt during the course of the year. What's going to happen to Wentz?
Wait, you said Deshaun Jackson and who?
And the guy that just drafted, Jalen Rager. Say, for example, the same thing happened last year, happens this year. They lose a bunch of players on offense, and Wentz kind of just playing with a bunch of scraps.
Nelson Aguilar ain't scratch.
Child, please.
Yes. JJ Arcega-Whiteside, I mean, he might be something. You don't know. He needs to play up to his potential. He's a second-round draft pick. You got Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. You know, you got who? Y'all got Miles Sanders at running back, huh?
Yep.
And who else you got at running back?
Boston Scott. That's it.
Okay. So, I mean, here's the thing. They got people that do more with less. Drew Brees has one receiver.
Sanders.
No. He just got Sanders. Prior to
I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying. Like, with the Saints, they're doing the right thing by helping Brees go on this year. Like, they signed Malcolm Jenkins for defense. They signed Emmanuel Sanders. They drafted an offensive lineman. They got a linebacker helping out defense.
I agree with you. No. We're clearly a better run organization. I'm not disputing it with you. Like, I get it. We are
going into this draft. I thought we were a pretty well run organization, but this draft here, boy,
you see otherwise.
This is horrible.
Right. So what I'm saying though is it's a situation of you gotta believe in the people you have in house. Because clearly, like you like that's what you gotta believe. Like you draft one receiver and then a backup quarterback. And it's like, you know, like what do you do from there? Like you believe that Wentz is the guy. Okay, we need Wentz to show us he's the guy. Like,
so in that case, draft some skill players, like some wide receivers, some running backs. Like,
you have skill players. You may not like the skill players. You may not be a fan of the skill players. You may not, think the skill players are any good. But Nelson Aguilar, he played like a scrub, but he wasn't a scrub. Deshaun Jackson, he got hurt. Health-wise, you got to take care of yourself. Injuries happen, so I understand it. So it's not his fault. Shit happens. JJ Arcega-Whiteside, you're a second-round draft pick, bro. You need to step the fuck up. Zach Ertz did his thing. I get it. Like, Zach Ertz does his thing. Okay, Zach Ertz needs to do more. Dallas Goedert, put him to work. Put his ass to work. Like, you have to do your job. And they believe they have what I'm taking from the Jalen Hurts pick is they believe that they have enough people in-house plus the receiver they drafted to say, okay, Carson, what the fuck are you going to do? Are you going to nut up and do your job? Or are you going to continue to be the injury-prone little shit that goes out when it matters and we had to put Nick Foles in to actually win the big game?
But I just feel like if it was like the 4th, 5th, 6th round, I get it 100%.
He's not going to be there. He's not going to be there 4th, 5th, 6th round.
I know. I'm just saying, like, you got a quarterback at that round. Okay, cool. But the 1st round, your 2nd round, like your prime person start.
You're not going to get a quarterback that can push him in the 4th round.
I just don't agree.
You're not going to get a quarterback that can compete in the 4th round, 5th round. Like, your chances of pulling another Tom Brady are 1 in a million. And you won't know he's Tom Brady until you get him in.
And the thing what sucks about it is he just got over this thing with having a quarterback controversy. Because once he got hurt, Nick Foles came in, won a Super Bowl, and then the following year, same thing happened again, and Nick Foles won his playoff run. He left. Carson finally said, okay, you know what? I learned from Nick. I appreciate him. But
Mhm.
now I ain't worry about looking behind my back to see if I mess up, I got somebody behind me who might take my job. Now he's going through this whole process over again. Like it's
No, but see, here's the thing. He shouldn't be looking over his shoulder. They paid him $100 million. You don't look over your fucking shoulder after $100 million. You the man. They gave you $100 million. They backed up the fucking truck and said, "Guess what? Here's all the money you'll ever fucking need in your life, your kids' life, and your grandkids' life. You can literally live off this for 3 to 5 generations and live very fucking well." Most people spend their entire lives and don't make $1 million. Don't make a fraction of a fucking dollar, the money he made. So you know what? No. You get $100 million. No. You stop being a bitch.
Okay, so I'll give you an example. What if at your current job they give you promotion, they give you like, all these benefits and everything like that. And Martin, you are a guy, say you're a general manager, you are our guy.
Okay.
A week later, they hire somebody younger to your same position. Y'all working together.
So they hire like an assistant GM.
No, give them the exact title, GM. Y'all co-GMs.
But see, that's where sports and work are different. You can't have two chiefs.
Apparently they can.
But no, they can't, because guess what? Jalen Hurts is not the starting quarterback.
I
Jalen,
mean, yeah,
Jalen
you are the first like general manager in my example, but he is like
and they
still
have
following you around.
so,
He's
so,
learning.
so let me just adjust your example. I am the general manager. There is no assistant general manager. There's never been an assistant general manager. I got the promotion, I got the salary, I got the benefits, I got all the good shit. We have faith in you, Martin. You're great. We love you. We bow down to your wonderful general managerness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then a few weeks after you have the job and this commitment and all this love and everything, all of a sudden, hey Martin, we're implementing an assistant general manager. Here he is. This guy, 10 years my junior.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine, bitch, you work for me.
Nah, but he working with you.
No, I am the
He,
general manager. I am the
you're gonna train him to be a general manager. He
no,
takes your job.
no, I'm not. Brett Favre is Aaron Rodgers. Fuck that guy.
Yep. Well,
Fuck that guy. No. This the thing though, and this the issue. You gotta decide whether to nut up and be the guy or not. Either you're gonna be the guy or you're not gonna be the guy. Either you're
and
gonna be
now they're saying want him to have some like gadget plays.
fuck
Which
gadget please. Carson Wentz can run.
Oh my god! You don't draft a player in the second round and want gadget plays. Oh my god!
But that's the point. Carson Wentz needs to step up. I don't know how we got caught up talking about the Eagles so fucking much,
You
but
brought it up. I told you I was over. You brought it up.
I'll say this.
I'm over it.
They would not have invested the money they invested in Carson if they did not believe he could do the job.
You know what? Now I change my opinion. Now you're right. We should not have football season this year because I cannot endure a whole year of this bullshit with Jalen Hurts and Carson. I just can't do it. I refuse. So therefore, I'm all for the season being canceled. I'm for it, 100%.
It's gonna take one time. He gonna throw a pick six. Put Jalen Hurts in. Put Hurts in. I want to see Hurts. Oh my god, it hurts so bad. Look.
I'm over it. Told you. I'm over it.
Yep. So, I'll say this. It's a it ain't even a tough situation. You just gotta not be a bitch. If you the guy, act like the guy. Nut up, gird up your loins, as they say in the Bible, and go ahead.
But the thing about it is he did that last year.
Did he
He
really?
lost 3 of his top offensive players. He's the first quarterback in NFL history to throw 4,000 yards and not have a receiver have more than 500 yards. Think about that.
Well, that's because the receivers that did have 500 yards weren't playing at the end of the year.
And they missed the majority of the year. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the point. It's like
Yeah,
he worked with bunch of scrubs and still had 4,000 yards passing.
So all I'm saying is, so then that's all he has to continue to do. And maybe guess what? Maybe they did draft Jalen Hurts because they see what's happening in New Orleans with Taysom Hill. And you know what? Hey, maybe we do put a wildcat package in. Maybe we do have some plays. Maybe Jalen Hurts is athletic enough to pull that off, so we don't have to put Carson Wentz in a situation where he can get his fucking box rocked. Maybe they want to grow and expand their offense so that, guess what? The only thing we like where, hey, guess what? We're down to our eighth receiver. Well, fuck, throw Hurts in there. Let him run the fucking ball.
Or it would just be easy to drop a wide receiver.
Draft the receiver.
Draft a receiver, have a bunch of bodies, and just figure it out. But
Hey.
you know what? You're right. I'm over. I don't why talk about this. I'm over it. I'm done. I just want to just drink some more Hennessy. I'm a Ciroc boy, and they got me drinking Hennessy. That's how bad it is right now.
Pineapples?
Yes, I just don't understand. Like, I'm a Ciroc boy. Everybody knows this. It is so bad right now. I'm on Brown. That's how bad it is.
The Brown gets you down.
Yes, I have a headache right now because that's what Brown does to me. It gives me headaches. And
you punish
that's what the Eagles are doing. So it's like a double whammy. I have a headache from the Eagles, a headache from the Brown, the Hennessy. So there was my night.
Look, it is what it is.
Yeah. Any closing remarks?
Who that?
Sure.
We have a really great run organization.
I hate you.
Mickey Loomis is probably one of the best general managers in the entire NFL.
Go Tampa Bay. Or is it Tampa Brady? They're trying to, I don't know, they're working the whole saying out. Go Gronk. Go Tampa Bay, beat the Saints so I can feel better about myself.
There it is. You have to hate on people to make yourself feel better. They do say misery loves company.
That is true.
Hey, maybe y'all will only get to your sixth receiver this year. Y'all won't go fully to the eighth.
Oh, it should just be canceled altogether.
Nope.
Not be saved out of my misery.
No, you know what? Let's just play 7-on-7s.
Then I feel a lot better.
Yep. So 7-on-7s, tackling. But, no, Carson Wentz would still get hurt. And then
No, 7-on-7. You don't touch him.
Well, no, look, just play. Well, fine, play the full 11-on-11, and hey. But here's the thing: Wentz would probably still get hurt. Deshaun Jackson would probably herniate his hamstring or some foolishness like that. Maybe Lane. Y'all still have Lane Johnson, right?
And he is one drug test away from being suspended for, I think, 3 years, something like that.
There it is. Another.
It's like, bro. Anyway, thank you for the Daily Show podcast. We appreciate everybody. Love you. We thank our essential workers, truck drivers, doctors, nurses, people in the food industry. We appreciate you guys.
Man, look, y'all lives, your lives matter. Your lives are important. It is more important than a dollar. If you can, I'll say this: call your companies that your utilities are through. They are giving extensions. There's forgiveness. There are resources out there to help you pay your bills. Do it all. Take advantage of it all. Get everything you need. Do what you got to do to be safe and stay safe.
Absolutely. And shout out to BK again.
We miss
She's
you.
not with us here at this point, but she's with us spiritually. She's taking care of business. So make sure y'all follow us on Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Leave a review, comments, all that good stuff. We appreciate you guys. And we're at this episode 43.
43, baby.
43, about 1,900 streams or plays, something like that.
Yeah,
And
man.
we couldn't do it without you guys. So we truly appreciate it.
That's it. All the love in the world. And with that, we out.
Peace.
Peace.